Namaste to Swami. Lotus feet. Okay, so today's message is a bit funny because I've not planned it, but there's no specific message. I was trying to find a quote from Swami to deliver this message. I want to ask you all among you all here, how many of you all have been a Swami's devotee for more than 20 years? More than 20 years? And have not met Swami? Have not met Swami? Have not seen Swami? Really? Really? Oh my God. Okay, so here's a message, right? Because I want to share what I went through, and probably this will be a message for the younger generations, okay? And it's important for you all to understand this. Now, I literally remember being a Sai devotee since I was 4 years old. Okay, so I'm 27 now, so. Right? So when we were staying in Kapong, right, Jinjang Kapong, we had a lot of Chinese neighbors and people who would be able to see a picture of Swami outside. And when they see a picture of Swami, most of them, Indians or Chinese, they will come to the house, they just literally walk into the house. They'll come in at 8 o'clock, they go back home at 4 o'clock in the morning. Just talking about Swami and his miracles. And I was young, right? But I'll be sitting down together with my parents even at 4 o'clock in the morning, listening to the stories, listening to all the miracles that took place. And I was growing up, so I started my bhajans in Brickfield Center in Vivekananda Ashrama. You all remember that? So I was doing that, and then suddenly and I think in my family, right, whether my dad's side or my mom's side, I think we were the only first Sai devotees. So at that time, in the 70s and 80s, there was a lot of question mark about Swami, right? Who's this guy? What is he trying to do? And all that. So my uncle will come and tell me, like, hint to you, because he can't talk to my mother about this, so he'll come and dig into me. He'll say, why you bring to a man? Why you bring to a man? And I started questioning, because I'm a guy who's a very curious kind of person. I like to check out things, I like to see things. Now no need lah, but those days when I was growing up, this was very important to me, right? And I grew, and there was times where I think Form 1, Form 2, I stopped going for bhajans because I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe in him, even though I knew he was there. But there was a feeling that I didn't believe in him, that he's not God or whoever he is, right? So the journey continued, then Form 3 I came back, Form 4 I came back, then up to Form 5. And then after Form 5, I went to Bangsa Center, because that's where Uncle Tawa, because Uncle Tawa was my neighbor, right? So Uncle Tawa, Dinesh and all that, they took me to Bangsa Center, and that's where I went for the first camp and all that nice. And that's when I got close to the youths, because that time I think that was the first group of teen youths that was being built by Auntie Shanti and all, if you remember Auntie Shanti and all, right? So that was the first teen youth group that we were building. So we had Monty, Jyotish, Professor Maniam, Murli, and Sugane's brother, I can't remember his name, right? So one day, what happened, okay, so and then I was also doing my education, right? So I was already in Rima College and I was doing my computer science. And I finished my computer science and I was already going to start applying for my university before to US. And I kept telling Swami, there was still an attraction of Swami there. And I kept, I told myself, okay, this is all in my mind. I'm saying, I go to the altar and I pray to Swami and say, I need to see you before I go. I need to see you before I go. But nothing was literally materializing in that sense. It was April, May. And then if you all remember those days, I'm not sure whether now it's okay, we had summer camps. Those days was very famous. And all the time, the Malaysian, it's always the girls that get to go to the summer camp. And this thing, right? She will always take the girls and go to the summer camps, and all that. So the boys kept telling, we must go this year, this was in 1994, I remember. We must go. So we did whatever we could lah. Tak jadi. We were not, the boys never had the chance to go, right? So the girls went, and every time when the girls come back, they'll tell us all the stories, and we got so excited about Swami can materialize for them, had interviews and all, blah, blah, blah. So we're like, okay, we need to go. I still remember, it was April, and almost end of April, like something like now. Monty called, because those days were all landlines, so there's no handphones. So Monty called me. It was a Monday, He calls me in the evening and said, Poovan, the boys have decided to go to India. Do you want to join? I said, of course I want to join, lah, but because I was still waiting for my break to go to university in June, July. So I had a lot of time. Then I was thinking, okay, bachelor boy, not enough money, no visa, no passport. I said, when do you want to go? He said, Thursday. I said, huh? Today is Monday evening. Thursday evening is the flight, So I said, forget it. Now my mom, if you all know who my mom was, she was the one who always does the decoration for the altars in Brickfield Center and also. She was doing her mala. She overheard my conversation. She said, what happened? I said, no, Monty said they want to go. Then he said, you want to go? I said, of course I want to go. She said, okay, I'll check. That's what she said. Guys, you wouldn't believe it. Thursday night, I'm on the flight.
Oh my God.
I'm on the flight, okay? 7 of us, we went. We were heading to Chennai. We landed in Chennai. Okay, so this is the experience I'm going to share. I'll take a glimpse because I'm only going to be a few minutes to go. So, we went to Chennai. We landed there that night. And that was my first trip to India in general. And next day, we were saying we're going to go to Bangalore because summertime, Baba is always in Bangalore. Okay, Whitefield. And we knew the timings because we had to take a flight from Chennai to Bangalore and what. So we knew our mornings, the darshans were early morning, 6, 7 morning. And then evenings we had the 4 o'clock darshan. So we said, okay, we must go for the darshan. So that morning when we left, actually when we were leaving, this was a strange things that was happening to me, which I didn't realize at the point in time. When we were leaving Chennai to the airport, all was doing, I was the last guy, and then this Indian guy at the back, he tapped on me and he said, where are you going? In the excitement, I said, Baba, I'm going to go and see Baba. He said, yes, he took out his wallet and he gave me a picture of Baba. Right? So I thought, okay, normal like India, right? So maybe everyone knows, so I just put it in my wallet. And then we went. Now we're taking the flight. The flight is at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to reach Bangalore at 11. So all of us told, no darshan in the morning. Right? Because that's, we based on timing, Baba's darshan would have finished today. We took the flight, we landed, we took the cab, 2 cabs to go to Baba's place. The guy, he's a Muslim guy, he told me he knows where Baba was, so we took us to Whitefield. As soon as we stopped, I was sitting on the left back passenger side. As I opened the door, I could hear the bells ringing. And Aarti was going on. So I told myself that, hey, Baba is here. So I told the guys, Baba is here. They said, no, Baba is not here. Baba would have gone back. They were having a schedule for Baba, right? So he said, no, Baba's here. So I got up. I told everyone else to go first because it was only the small door gate outside that was open. The rest was closed. I watched them walk in. I saw them staring there. I have no idea what was going on because it's my first experience. And then I walked in. And as I walked in, I just looked among the 5,000-6,000 people that's around there. I just saw Swami, like floating, like that, he's walking like that, floating. And tears started running down my eyes. And then I told myself, oh my God, you're the guy. Why are you tearing, right? Be macho, you know that kind of thing, right? So we wiped out the tears, Arti, Baba's walking off, then we went and got our accommodations and everything. Then this is the experience I've been through, so that you can understand what was going on. And then when we came down in the evening for darshan, we had to sit outside first before we get into all. Then when you sit outside in the line, they'll ask you to take a number. Based on the number, you are going to sit wherever you are in the hall, because it's a small hall compared to Kotapalli, right? It's much more smaller. We got the last row. So evening bhajans, we went in, we sat down. Baba comes, so I'm observing, right? Baba comes, afternoon, he sits on the chair and then he tells the students to start bhajans and bhajan. The whole 1 hour, literally, there was no scanning of face, right? You couldn't get his vision. So there was a picture of Srini and also Baba on the set. So I told Baba, you know what, you don't want to see me? I see the pictures, it's big, right? And that's when he gives the glance, right? So I said, okay, coincidence, right? Probably nothing. So we went. Then the next day we were observing, so morning we go for darshan. So morning what happens is that I'm observing. So morning we go darshan, he walks down, he comes, I see him materializing Vibhuti. We were still sitting at the back and then he takes the letters, everything. And then evening, he sits, he doesn't come down. Okay? So this was going on for 3-4 days. And then this happened. Then we met the Indonesian team, we met the Singaporean teams, and they all said, hey, Baba loves the Malaysians, who would ask me for interview, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay. Then this happened. Why? This happened, right? That afternoon, I remember it was a Wednesday, a week after, we were there for almost 10 days. So the week after the Wednesday, that evening I had letters. Some people, my mom gave me letters, a lot of people gave letters, all of us had our letters. So as I took the letters to walk down, I still remember, Monty said, Poovan, why are you taking the letters? You know Baba is not coming down. And I said, I don't know why I said this, and I just told him, if Baba is God, as he mentions, I'm still testing him, right? I'm in the moment of testing Swami here. So I said, if Baba is God, you cannot put a schedule to him. He decides what he wants to do. I don't know what crazy things I said, you know. And we walked in. So we walked down. Then they said, since you are so confident Baba will come, why not you take the number? So I took the number, the last seat. Okay? So disappointment, the full heart sings. But as soon as we walked in, I was leaving the team, right? The secretary said, you go and sit in the front. So I said, no, but I got my Malaysian team, take all of them. So now, where are we sitting? The first aisle is the students' aisle. We were in the second aisle, next to the boys and girls. I was number 3, and the rest of them were at the back of me. Nobody brought the letters, only I'm carrying letters, okay? So I said, chill lah, cool it, nothing's going to happen. And then the music starts, and Baba walks, right? So I'm just looking, and suddenly I'm looking at him and I said, Swami, why are you coming down? He walks down, he stands in front of me and said, give me your letters. And I'm in that moment of shock, right? I'm like holding the letters. I gave it to him. I didn't do Pada Namaskar. It was in the whole of attention. And recently, we need your harmony mentor. Okay? And then we sat down and bhajan started. Now, I'm in this mode. And this is one song I never heard before. It's a Hindi song in the country. And now it's one of my favorite songs. Okay? So I'm in the bhajan was being, you just give chorus, everything. And I'm looking for me, Swami, we're having the connection. And I'm telling Swami, I want to shout out and say, I love you. But I can't shout it out because bhajan is going on, You can't actually say that. I say, I want to shout out and say, I love you. And I'm singing this in Hindi song. I have no idea what song this is. This song goes into English mode. We love you, dear son. Humko tumse pyar. That time I didn't know that. And I'm singing the song. And he's smiling at me. And I'm looking like, I said, oh my God, what am I singing? 1 minute ago, I was asking you, and you're giving me the opportunity to say I love you in this context, right? It was amazing, right? I teared. He looked, he just gave a blessing. I went back, there was an STD call booth in Whitefield. So I called back my parents. I said, Amma, this is what happened. She said, fantastic. Today was the day you received your confirmation from university that you will go to university. I said, oh my God. I went to Hawaii, I studied in Hawaii, right? So, yeah. And then we also had other, how much time we have? I have, there was others, for example, we were called for interview, okay? So the day before, the Indonesians told us, Baba likes Malaysians because they all do a lot of seva. If he comes in front of you, ask him for interview, okay? So that Sunday, I still remember it was a Sunday, Baba was giving a speech, then he walked. We were at the back, but he walked. He stood in between of me and Maniam. Okay, because Maniam was the oldest in the team. So we told Maniam, if Baba comes, you ask him for interview. He came, he asked me, where are you from? Like, as if he doesn't know. I said, Malaysian, Baba. Acha. He went like that. Then I heard Maniam asking Baba, interview. The next moment, there was a blackout for me. And my name is holding my shoulder in front of Swami and saying, Macha, interview. Like this is in Whitefield. He said, Macha, interview. And I'm like, what happened? So the secretary said, so he called a few people, right? So there's a few groups of people for interview, and we were one of those now. Okay? We waited. Everyone started going in. We were the last group. After like 2 hours we were waiting there, the security came to Papa said, you all can go back. Can you imagine how our hearts felt? Like literally it like sunk, All of us were quiet, we just walked out. We went back to our rooms, we all sat down there, nobody spoke to each other. Then I was thinking, then I started laughing, right? I said, guys, guess what Swami did to us? The day before, in the room, we were making joke of Swami about his hair, about his style, everything, in front of 6 of us. Swami made fun of us in front of 6,000 people. So this is dangerous. But the fact is, we got connected, right? There was a connection. That was, even though we didn't get the interview, although we wanted it, but I think this was a good connection that we had with Swami. And the last one that I had for that year, before we were leaving, and Baba was giving a speech. And this is how Baba works. We were all at the back. And then Baba starts taking the sweets and he starts throwing the sweets. Right? So when he throws the sweets, I was in the front and then the rest were at the back. 3 came to me. Straight away in my head, very simple. For me, for my father, for my mother. Watching the right, if you get 3 seats, I just calculate my. Suddenly Monty steps in, bro, we didn't get anything. So I was like, okay. So I took the 2. I was thinking how to give it to my father, mother, so I gave the 2 because he asked me, right? So I gave the 2 without any doubts. As soon as the prayers was over, everything, the guy sitting in front of me, he turns around and he gives me 2 sweets. Then I'm like, okay. Then I find out that this is one of Swami's personal security guards. So when Swami comes, he gets up and he follows Swami to his room. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, what kind of connection is happening here, right? So that was the year I started believing in Swami in full with no U-turns. Okay? It was a point that I said, this is it, because he answered all my questions. In my mind, whatever I said, he answered. I have other stories to tell, but I don't think I have enough time probably to do another session later. Yeah? So we will do that. But yeah, here's the message, right? For those of y'all who has not seen Swami and yet, kids, you're like coming here, believing in him, spending the time here. I think that is even greater of not seeing him and believing in him compared to me seeing to believe. Right? We always say see to believe, right? So, but if you can still believe without seeing Swami, and now of course your chance of not seeing Swami physically is not there, right? But if you all can continue like how you all believe in Jesus, in Buddha, in Krishna, they were all here on earth. But I put this question to myself last time. Why can't I believe in Swami when I can believe in Buddha? Why can't I believe in Swami when I can believe in Krishna? Right? I was able to believe in them. Right? I was very open-minded in that context. So I was able to believe anything. But yet why would I question Swami then? And Swami showed me who he was. Right? And that's very, very important. So for you young children who have not seen Swami, it is okay, because the fact that you believe and the fact that you love him is much more greater than anything else. Okay, with that, thank you, sir.